This evening, Roxanne Burnham resident stage protest. First ever Latin American Film Festival comes to Guyana. CHNPA to begin multi-million-dollar housing scheme improvement project. In the region, 4 Jamaicans arrested for counterfeit liquor. And internationally, Jerusalem U.S. Embassy opening sparks deadly protests.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Today is Tuesday, May the 15th, 2018, and this edition of Headline News is now being streamed live on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. The first ever Latin American Film Festival is coming to Guyana. Here's more. Our Latin American neighbors are planning a cultural exchange with Guyana.
We're neighbors. Guyana is the only English-speaking country in the south of the continent. And we're, getting along a long time with Mexico because we speak the same language and I think we feel connected in some way. So the idea is to feel connected with Guyana too because we're here and we want to, create the ties to share the experience of cultures.
The embassies of Chile, Mexico, and Brazil, in conjunction with the Ministry of the Presidency, Department of Youth, are hosting the first ever Latin American Film Festival in Georgetown, Guyana. In the spirit of good relations with neighbors, this year's theme is friendship.
Films about friendship. We think we kind of got it, and at least part of it is about each of our countries. Our history, our food, our relationships with other countries in South America and Latin America. So we're hoping Guyanese people are going to be very excited.
Each night is dedicated to the culture of the different nations involved. But what is a cultural exchange without food?
The arts is a very good opportunity to get to know a different country, a different culture. But the food is always the most important way how to embrace a new culture, yes. So
the food brings us together.
Yes.
The Latin American Film Festival starts this Wednesday, May the 16th, 2018 at 5 p.m. at Castellani House and continues every Wednesday until the 6th of June. Admission is free. For more information, find their Facebook page, First Latin American Film Festival in Georgetown, Guyana. Today, several persons gathered in front of the Ministry of Public Security to protest Clause 18.1, also known as the Sedition Clause of the proposed cybercrimes bill. Wendell Jeffrey was there and filed this report.
This government is taking us right back to dictatorship under Burnham, and I don't want to go back there. I've lived there already, I don't want to go back there. Never again. When democracy is threatened, when freedom of expression is threatened, and a dictatorship looms because of those freedoms are being taken away, I must stand up.
George, today a couple of folks gathered in front of the Ministry of Public Security to protest the cybercrime bill, particularly Clause 18 of the bill that speaks to the issue of sedition. And here are some of the comments on what the protesters have problems with that clause.
I'm out here exercising my right to tell the Minister of Public Security no to the Clause 18, the Sedition Clause, that they are trying to sneak in behind everyone's back into law. This law will turn and become dictatorial. This law will be used to suppress people from disagreeing with the government. This section of the law. Assuming that this government is already becoming dictatorial, it has the military backing behind it. They're making all the moves to suppress freedom of expression and speech.
The Minister was clear that that is not the case, that there is a subsection in the bill that says that there is allowance for persons to protest the government and even try to change the government.
We also have a paragraph 4, 18.4b, that says criticism of the government, criticism of any minister, criticism and even wanting to lawfully change the government does not constitute the offense of sedition.
Have you read that subsection of the bill?
Yes, I have. And are you willing to bet that they will find reasons to use this bill against people that they dislike? Are you willing to bet your head on that? I'm not.
I am loyal to my country. I do not have to be loyal to a government, as prescribed in Section 18.
George, the protesters are saying that their intention is for the clause not to be included in the bill, and they're going to continue to protest that. They say that their numbers don't really matter, that it was just a couple of them out here that doesn't really matter, that they are lawful, legal Guyanese, and their love for Guyana is what drives them.
I protested in Marriott. I protested 20 things the PPP did. I'm just a Guyanese who loves my country. There's nothing particular about this government. I voted for this government. I campaigned for this government. But when I see wrong things done, it is my duty as a Guyanese to stand up. I must stand up.
Thanks, Wendell. Esther Sobers brings us today's court roundup.
This morning, 25-year-old Marianne Dabby appeared before Georgetown Magistrate Courts on 3 charges. Dabby, the daughter of businessman Paul Dabby, is charged with attempting to murder a police constable on May 13th at Thomas Lands, Georgetown. It is also alleged that she had in her possessions an unlicensed .32 caliber pistol and 6 live rounds. She does not possess a valid gun license. On the day in question, Dabby reportedly shot several rounds into the air. When she was confronted by police constable Christopher Kissoon, she allegedly pulled the trigger twice, but the gun did not fire. She pleaded not guilty to the charges. The prosecution objected to bail due to the seriousness of the offense. Magistrate Judy Lodgman remanded Marianne Dabby to prison until May 23rd. Also, former Bishop's High School teacher Cohen Jackson was committed to stand trial at the High Court for offense of rape. Jackson remains on $300,000 bail until the matter is called in the High Court. He is charged with sexual activity with a child under the age of 16 by abusing the position of trust. Christopher Rogers was charged with possession of an unlicensed caliber .38 revolver and ammunition. On the day in question, the vehicle Rogers was riding in a car with 4 other persons, and he was reportedly stopped by police. He was allegedly found with a gun and ammo hidden in his pants crotch. He also with other occupants were arrested, but he was later charged. Bail was denied given the seriousness of the offense. And finally, 31-year-old Amrita Dial, an overseas-based Guyanese, was remanded to prison on 2 forgery-related charges, allegedly committed against attorney-at-law Bibi Sadiq. Dial denied both charges. It is alleged that on May 12, 2018, Dial authored a forged promissory note purporting the sum of US $547,000 to be paid to Kelawati Sabadin by Bibi Safora Sadiq, with intention to defraud. It is also alleged that on March 13, Dial procured her father, Bagwandin Dial, to utter a payment note to Sadiq to pay a sum of US $547,000. Dial was remanded to prison until May 22, 2018. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Don't go away. Coming up after the break, CHNPA to begin multi-million-dollar project, and Roxanne Burnham resident stage protest. But first, here's today's foreign currency exchange rates. For the latest in news from Guyana, the region, and beyond, visit our website, headlinenewsguyana.com.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from, also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
For all your floor covering needs, Kissoon's has you covered. From wall-to-wall carpets, runners, rugs in all sizes and designs, mats for all entranceways, vinyl and rubber tiles too. And with our vast stock and knowledge, you're guaranteed to find your floor covering solution with us. We provide free estimates, and did I mention we install too? Like I said, we've got you covered. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Mom, what are you doing with GPL on your list?
Child, you forgot I have to pay GPL?
You got time with GPL?
I have to keep these lights on. The customers who think in that manner and refuse to honor their obligation to GPL are obviously not playing their part in ensuring quality service delivery. So, I will continue to pay my GPL bill on time, every time.
I recognize the value of your point, Mom. You were right.
Welcome back. Today, the Ministry of Public Health held a stakeholders consultation for homes for the elderly. Wendell Jeffrey has more in this report.
In many instances, we would have noticed that our elderlies were housed in derelict buildings. They were abused by their caregivers. They were fed meals that were not catered for their nutritional needs, and they were deprived access to medical services.
George, today the Regency, the Ministry of Social Protection in collaboration with the PAHO WHO launched a 5-day workshop for those who are involved in the care of the elderly, and to give an overview of what the days will involve, what the workshop will entail, was Dr. Ratan, and Dr. Ratan is the Director of the Elderly Care with the Ministry of Public Health.
The whole purpose of this consultation and this meeting is because we all have one common interest, which is care for the elderly and improving whatever care and services that we're already providing for them. Just because they've reached the age of retirement doesn't mean that we would have forgotten about them and forgotten that they have social needs, healthcare needs, basic needs. So just to give you an overview, that is basically what this stakeholders meeting is about, to establish well-rounded minimal health care and social care standard for our elders in Guyana.
Also speaking at the launch this morning was Deputy Director of Social Services, Ms. Abiki Samuels.
In 2016, the Ministry of Social Protection developed minimum standards for elderly residential facilities in Guyana, based on international best practices and in accordance with international conventions and treaties to which Guyana is a signatory. Over the years, we have noticed that elderly care facilities have been operating unregulated. The Ministry of Social Protection is committed to improving the quality of life of its seniors, particularly those in residential care. In our minimum standards, we have a checklist when we visit the homes. The checklist has 74 items, and no items, and we basically rate the homes based on if they're outstanding, good, requires improvement, or basically if they are inadequate.
George, the workshop will go for 5 days and will include visits to some of the nursing homes, the elderly care homes across Guyana, and there are about 20 of them or so. There will be specialists presenting on the theme of elderly care, both local specialists and international specialists, and the intention is to apprise those who operate nursing homes or elderly care homes, both for the government and the private entities, on what are the international best practices, and for them to understand that the Ministry of Social Protection has a minimal care standard that they will be looking for when the visiting teams come around. Back to you, George.
Thanks, Wendell. The Central Housing and Planning Authority will soon commence a multi-million-dollar project to enhance housing schemes on the east bank of Demerara. This morning, the Central Housing and Planning Authority signed contracts with 7 firms to complete infrastructure works at the Peters Hall Phase 2 and Providence Phase 4 housing schemes.
These contracts will be signed with Chung Global Enterprise, Enron Lal Civil Engineering Works, Guy America Construction, Colin Talbot Constructing Services, KB&B Contractors, H. Norton Sons, and Romel Ja Group General Construction Service
The move is expected to benefit over 360 new homeowners. During the signing, Chief Executive Officer of the Housing Authority, Leland Saul, also addressed the issue of squatting. According to Saul, these persons will be relocated, but housing will soon be provided to them.
We are currently working to develop Cummins Lodge, and some of the persons who are living in informal settlements that are not suitable, some of those persons are earmarked to be relocated there.
The $545 million projects will be completed over a 5-month period. Angry residents of Roxanne Burnham Gardens staged a protest today. Esther Sobers tells us why in this report.
Irate residents of Roxanne Burnham Gardens staged a small protest today. They voiced their frustrations over the decision of the Mayor and City Council to lease a parcel of land to a businessman to construct a restaurant and grill. The land that the MMCC has leased is an open space located at the entrance of the community, which is used for recreational spaces and small vending.
Other governments, including the City Council, have never paid any interest to Roxanne Burnham Gardens. When the rain falls, our streets are flooded. The City Council makes decisions that a lot of the members of this community are not aware of.
Coalition government cleaning up. I had to remove my shop from here. And when I removed my shop, my whole car to the bottom loose up. I'm a single parent of 3. And when I came back now to start operating my business, because after my husband died, I was selling out here. Because that's the only thing I know to do as a single parent with 3 children. When I came here, I saw that at the box around the place.
One protester was upset with the MMCC's removal of her stall, while other protesters are alleging a division in the council when choosing to propose land for the community.
One side of the council is offering to rehabilitate this community, while another side is trying to pull it down. Now, I quote the word of God, which says, a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand.
We intend to develop with the council, but one part of the council is developing and the other part is pulling and destroying this area. They want to put a 40-foot container on this piece of land, and we are not standing for that. We are going to fight. David killed Goliath with 1 stone, and we got many stones, and we're going to stop anybody that come to take any part of Roxanne Burnham Garden. As long as I live in Roxanne Burnham Garden, and even if I move out from Roxanne Burnham Garden, I will fight for this area.
Nonetheless, the residents plan to continue their protest until their community can once again regain the land for recreational purposes. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. After the break, 4 Jamaicans arrested for counterfeit liquor, and Jerusalem U.S. Embassy opening sparks deadly protests. Stay with us. Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
The Ministry of Public Health presents Health Expo 2018 under the theme Reaching for a Better Life with Good Health. Starting Wednesday, May 30th to Saturday, June 2nd at the Sophia Exhibition Center. Catch the big opening night ceremony on Wednesday 30th from 17 hours and gates open from 15 hours to 22 hours daily except on Friday, June 1st at 10 a.m. for school children. Enjoy free medical and dental checkups, blood pressure and diabetes testing, nutrition counseling, and many more. Admission is absolutely free and the entire family is invited. Don't miss out.
Welcome back. Here's Bibi Backus with our regional and international headlines of the day.
Jamaica's Counterterrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Branch charged 4 men for breaches of the Trademark and Copyright Acts on Monday, May 14th. Reports are that over the weekend, a team of investigators carried out special operations in St. Anne's Bay, where the men were found selling fake Campari liquor to wholesalers in the parish. 19 cases of fake Campari were seized, with a value of approximately 380,000 Jamaican dollars. Walton Ray and Dwayne Fowler were subsequently arrested and charged. They are scheduled to appear in the St. Anne's Parish Court on Thursday, July 5th. Scotiabank employee Roxanne Mahabir suffered serious internal injuries and underwent emergency surgery after being shot in the abdomen and robbed in front of his workplace yesterday morning. Shortly after the incident, his Facebook friends used the forum to make an appeal for blood donors. According to the police in Trinidad, the robbery took place shortly before 8 a.m. yesterday. He was approaching the entrance to the bank when he was accosted by a man who grabbed his computer bag and other items. Mahabir held on to his bag and was shot once in the abdomen. The gunman then ran off. Mahabir remains listed in serious condition at the San Fernando Hospital in Trinidad. And in international news, a Chinese passenger jet was forced into an emergency landing after its windscreen blew out at 32,000 feet, sucking the co-pilot halfway out of the plane. Captain Lu Chuanjuan said the Airbus A319 had been cruising mid-air when a deafening sound flooded the cockpit. He told the Chengdu Economic Daily that it happened without warning. The windscreen just cracked and made a loud bang. The next thing I knew, my co-pilot had been sucked halfway out. The co-pilot was wearing a seatbelt. He was dragged back into the chaos of the cockpit, where pressure and temperature had dropped and the equipment was failing. Everything in the cockpit was floating in the air. The captain said, "I couldn't hear the radio. The plane was shaking so hard I could not read the gauges." They were able to land the plane without any serious injuries or fatalities. And finally, funerals are being held in Gaza for 58 people killed on Monday when Israeli troops opened fire on Palestinian protesters. Monday's violence came as the U.S. opened its first embassy in Jerusalem, a controversial move that broke with decades of U.S. policy and infuriated Palestinians. The burial coincided with the 70th anniversary of the Nakba, a mass displacement of Palestinians after Israel's creation. Israel's military said it was preparing for further clashes on Tuesday, but Palestinian groups indicated they intended to rein in the protests. Monday was considered the deadliest day in the nation's history since being at war in 2014. Reporting for Channel 2 Headline News, Bibi Backus.
Thanks, Bibi. Now for your 7-day weather forecast and bridge retraction schedule. that's Channel 2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and our website, headlinenewsguyana.com. You can also tune in tomorrow morning at 6:30 for a rebroadcast, and Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock for more news. For now, I'm George Gonzalez, signing out from this newscast, saying thank you for welcoming us into your homes, and you have a good day.
The Ministry of Public Health presents Health Expo 2018 under the theme Reaching for a Better Life with Good Health. Starting Wednesday, May 30th to Saturday, June 2nd at the Sophia Exhibition Center. Catch the big opening night ceremony on Wednesday 30th from 17 hours and gates open from 15 hours to 22 hours daily except on Friday, June 1st at 10 a.m. for school children. Enjoy free medical and dental checkups, blood pressure and diabetes testing, nutrition counseling and many more. Admission is absolutely free and the entire family is invited. Don't miss out.